So since you clicked on this video, I'm going to absolutely assume that you got stuck on the Balteus boss fight in Attack on the Watchpoint. In this short guide, I'm going to give you all the tools you need to beat this guy because he's an absolute mother trucker and is extremely unfair. So let's get right into it and start in assembly. So the first two things you're going to need, guys, is the pulse gun, specifically the HI-16 GU Q1s. These are very good at ripping down Balteus's shield, and I'm going to show you basically how we're going to use them strategically. But you're going to want to put them on both the right and the left arm unit. In terms of back-mounted units, it doesn't matter. I use the missile launcher in the right, and I use the vertical missile launcher on the left. But ultimately, anything that is fine on your mech is not going to make a big difference. Everything else, guys, the biggest thing you need is a lot of AP. Because this boss fight basically revolves around two things, which is having enough HP where you survive and having enough damage where you can actually kill the boss. That's it. So what we're going to basically be doing is we're going to be using this dual guns and a combination of fist tactics. That's right, we're actually going to be punching the boss to death to basically get this boss to die. Now this might sound crazy, but this is basically the strategy. Now I'm going to be showing you generators. Specifically, you want something that has a high energy capacity and a high energy recharge. Right now I'm using the VP200 or the VP20D, whichever it's called. For chips too, you're going to want to look for something that has very strong close range assist. You can get this chip by doing one of the training exercises, and I would highly recommend using the FC006 Abbott. This is very, very important as it has extremely high close range assist, and you'll see in the boss section of this guy, when I actually break down the attacks, we are going to be attacking at point blank range almost constantly. You do not want to be any distance from this boss or you will be in big trouble town. So now let's actually get to how we're going to beat the boss in game. So this boss fight is broken down into two phases. The first thing you're going to want to do is dash close to the boss. Always stay close to the boss, guys. There is two big damaging attacks. The first one is exactly what we're seeing here, where he spreads out his outer ring and he shoots red rockets at you. The best case scenario here is you're very, very close to him and then you just need a quick dodge. The second major attack you need to watch out for is when you hear a beep beep, a double beep in your sound signal. That's this one right here. What he will do is he will shoot a very, very strong rocket directly down. Now this can basically instantly stun you. So the best thing you can do here is exactly the same thing. Stay close to him. If he gets in mid-range, you see he loves to shoot that rocket. The biggest thing we need to do here is we need to get up close to him and then completely unload with our pulse guns. These, because of the close range assist module that we did back in assembly, have extremely good tracking at close range, and you just need to be constantly boosting and avoiding attacks like I just did there. Now I will tell you 100% that this boss is going to hit you no matter what you do. But that has been phase 1. Now let's get to phase 2. So the first thing you needed to do at phase 2 was you needed to avoid his explosion attack, which is the transition from phase 1 to phase 2. As soon as you've done that by just boosting away, we're going to be doing exactly what we did for phase 1. However, Balteus is going to have some new strategies. The biggest thing you need to avoid is these two flaming sword arcs that he'll do all the time. The key to that is staying at a diagonal to him, very close to his body. The sword arcs come from a top-down diagonal, so if you're directly to his right-hand side or directly to his left-hand side, about 45 degrees away from his body, just like I'm here, you're going to avoid all of these attacks. This is the single biggest attack he has in this phase. He also has an AoE flame cone that he can shoot down, but honestly this isn't very scary because you just go directly below him and you can avoid it entirely. Actually, once you learn this phase, phase 2 of the fight is actually easier than phase 1, shockingly, because a lot of people get stuck on phase 2. But really the flame arc's main problem is you just need to be directly below him. This is the one right here where he does an AoE fire cone. As you see, it's not very effective and it's pretty easy to dodge. Again, if you can, stay very, very close to him, and if possible, it's even better to literally push him up against a wall of the arena. That makes things very effective. Now, if you've been using the guns like I've described this whole time, you're going to run out of ammo when he's about 10 to 20% of his HP. And at this point, we just go pure fisticuff. And as you see, the fist actually do a lot of damage. And bam, we get the win, guys. This is 100% possible. It probably took me 30 minutes to actually beat the boss. Once you figure out a strategy and actually know exactly what you're doing, beating him is not that bad. But he is an absolute BS boss, and he has a lot of disgusting tactics. And hopefully this video helped you to actually beat him. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.